Hello and welcome to another Franchise Hockey Manager 3 stream. My name is Adam. I am the Community Manager of Franchise Hockey. With me, as always, is FHM producer Jeff, who is pictured on your screen. Say hi, Jeff. And we are back with the 1974-1975 LA Kings.
And kind of a disappointing playoff again. Got knocked out in the first round, but now we've got bigger things to worry about. It is the beginning of the 74-75 season, and we've got an expansion draft. This is Washington and Kansas City coming in, so if you know the history, these were probably two of, if not the worst two expansion teams in NHL history. There had been, this is the fourth expansion draft in 7 years, so they were kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel as far as talent goes. So
not to mention the WHA.
Yeah, the WHA too is also rating and taking players away. So Washington in particular was pretty hard done by. But we don't care about them, we care about us, so we've got to get our protected list together. And we need to protect 2 goalies and 14 skaters. So the goalies are fairly simple. We obviously want Cheevers and Melange.
Mike Curran and Dave Tatarn.
Yeah, I think Curran might go. Tatarn, who cares? And I will start this off by picking the obvious guys. Salming, Leach, Nielsen, Sharon, Don Marcotte, our captain. Only taken one defenseman so far. I want Maloney, definitely want O'Reilly and Hedberg as well. Ochar.
I think if you sort by potential, it pretty much tells you who you need to save.
Yeah, although they're pretty similar right now. We've got a lot of guys right at their potential. Dennis Kearns is finally doing what we wanted him to do after about 6 seasons, so hang on to him. Ochar is a good defensive defenseman. He's got a few years in him, so we'll take him. 4 guys left. Katola, okay, he's only our 3rd center, but he's had, wait, let me see. Yeah, had kind of an off year, but he's still, 53 points. Worth keeping. Steve Durbin will go as well. Okay, and now we're down to the last 2 spots. And what have we got protected so far? Goalie, 4 defensemen.
Hedberg and Nielsen?
Yeah, I got Hedberg and Nielsen. I've got a goalie, 4 defensemen, and 8 forwards selected so far, so I think 1 more defenseman, 1 more forward maybe. Daryl Maggs is the only 3-star guy left, and he was a trade pickup last year. I don't want to dump him right away. Oh, wait, maybe on the other hand, I think I have to take Bob Berry. Coming off and off. Yeah, he's 30, though. Billy Harris has been kind of a disappointment. He was our first-round pick a couple of years ago and hasn't done much yet, but I think he's got a little bit of room to grow there. He's 2.5 stars. Battleship Kelly, who's a free agent right now, that if he makes it through the draft, we'll probably give him an offer. He's in there. Willie Lindstrom. I think I'm going to take Harris just because I don't want to give up on a first rounder that quickly. So the last choice winds up being, just double checking to see if there's anybody lower on the list that we need to look at. Don't think so. Daryl Maggs, 3-star defenseman, 25, or Bob Berry, 2.5-star winger, 30.
Bob Berry needs to stay out and available, unfortunately.
So we'll protect Maggs?
I think so. Well, although Bob Berry is...
Yeah, I'm thinking how Daryl Maggs actually turned out in real life, and he kind of went downhill in a hurry.
Keep Barry. He's an assistant captain for us, right?
Okay, we're probably going to lose Maggs, but... Okay.
Gudu Creative in the chat says hi, everybody. So hi, Gudu. Thanks for coming.
And we've got the expansion draft now. Let's just quickly let the CPU do the whole thing. And have a quick scan through and see how many kings got taken. So we did not lose a goalie, it looks like. Yeah, Mags was the third skater taken. Going to Kansas City. Kings. I see now. Okay, Vic Vanaski went to Washington. Willie Lindstrom, that sucks. As we've been trying to develop him for a while. Brian, hey, Kansas City, and I think that's it. Oh, Magnuson to Kansas City as well. So 4 guys gone. That kind of stings.
Well, before we advance any further, do you want to look at free agents really quick?
Yep, and one we've got to do something with. Bob Kelly, surprisingly enough, did not get taken in the draft, so we will see if he wants a contract. Oh, only $35,000 for 3 years. Yeah, that's a great deal, because he's finally starting to develop, and maybe we can keep him from jumping to the WHA. I hope.
Fingers crossed. And Brian in the chat says hello. So hi, Brian. Yeah. Thanks for coming as well.
And are we running out of room anywhere on contracts or protected list? Nope, not even close to either one of them.
Well, we should have a draft coming up here right away too, right? So
yeah. And you can see some of the guys we've stolen the rights to jump to the WHA. Dennis Patterson, Bobby Guindon, Ray McKay, Willie Brossart. So nobody more than 1.5, 2 stars, so nothing too critical. And let's just run this over to the draft. Oh, I should have looked at free agent, shouldn't I? Whoops.
I don't think there's very much available.
Yeah, I mean, this is the 70s. It's not like there's... Eric Kuhnhackl is a Czech player in Germany's there, but I wouldn't trust those ratings, and a couple of Russians. Mike Roger. Oh, that's no, the 19-year-olds are going to have to go through the draft, so that's going to change in a minute. So let's just have a look at the draft. Where are we picking? 14th overall. Yeah, the big one this year is Mark Howe. Rogers, Engblom, Seymour, Palmatier, and tails off fairly quickly. I think I'm not sure we're going to get much that's useful.
The good news is here too, we can also see in the draft if guys are signed to the WHA, which might influence who and what.
Simmer's in Toronto. Palmatier's already gone to Cleveland. Dennis Sobchuk's in Winnipeg.
Not that we will be able to get him, but one of my all-time favorite broadcasters right now is Brian Engblom, number 3. Yep. Possible number 3 pick.
Good defensive defenseman. I'll just go next pick slowly to see who. Washington, Tommy Durr with the first pick. Bob Murray with the second. And I think that's the Bob Murray that's like GM Bob Murray, not the other Bob Murray that played a little bit for the Canucks. And we'll go forward. Yeah, pretty much everybody is decent. Has been grabbed. Ray Adjuano, who was I do not trust that 3.5-star potential at all. He was kind of a mediocre WHA player. Billy the Russian, Billy Latnov, who is not going to be able to come over. Well, here's a tempting pick. Tiger Williams is available, but he's already playing for Cleveland to the WHA. 473 penalty minutes last year. So we could go for him and try to pry him out of there. But that's kind of a waste of a first rounder, it feels like.
Oh, Brian is a Buffalo Sabres fan. I'm sorry, Brian.
Claude LaRose, that's the WHA Claude LaRose, not the Blues and Canadians Claude LaRose. Gary LaRiviere, well, Willie Plett, Rookie of the Year in 76-77. Is available. Then we're getting down to the 2.5-star guys. don't think we have any particularly urgent needs for one position, do we?
I don't think so. Well, who's this? Rick Aduano?
Ray Adjuano. He was.
Rick.
He played for Birmingham in the WHA in real life, and I've got no idea why the scouts seem to think he's 3.5 stars, because I know he's not rated like that. So that's got to be scouting error. I'm going to cheat a little bit and ignore it.
All right, I think Plett's probably the pick.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Nice, he can score a bit. He's physical, and we're putting together a fairly tough team here. So yeah, he fits in with that. May wind up switching him over to right wing or left wing at some point, because I think we're pretty loaded for right wingers. And our next pick is second rounder, number 33. Michel Bergeron, who had, I think, one good NHL season and then kind of flamed out. Oh, no, okay, forget it. There's no question here. Harold Snaps is available. We're taking Snaps.
Who is that?
I have taken far too many Jets. We're taking a Canuck.
No, seriously, tell me about him. I know nothing.
Harold Snaps played for the Canucks from about 74 through, late 80s. Big mustache, incredibly slow.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of a Canucks.
Glad we grabbed the guy who's incredibly slow.
Yeah, he's a big physical guy too, so he fits into this era well. That's serious. No, one of the most popular Canucks ever. He still scouts for him, I think. Okay, picking 51st overall. 2 3-star guys left. Roland Eriksson, who yet another Canuck, but he's in the WHA, and Michel Lachance, who was, I think, a Penguin and a Rocky, and didn't really work out anywhere.
We don't really need Eriksson right now, so why not draft him?
That's an idea. The other would be to grab one of Richard Mullen, Bob Hess, or Tim Bothwell, who are pretty decent defensemen, like in the late 70s, early 80s. Burke, who's at Tim Burke? I don't know him other than there's a baseball player named Tim Burke, but he's not the same guy, I don't think. And
Eriksson.
Okay, we'll take Eriksson, but if any of those defensemen are available next round, I'm grabbing them.
Fair enough.
Number 69 overhaul, and none of them are available. Available. Bob Sauvé in goal. So only rated to 2 stars, so it should probably be a little higher than that. So
we don't really need a goalie though.
Well, we've got that Dave Tatarin though, and he's only like half a star. So I'd rather have somebody who's got.
No, we have the rights to like 5 guys.
Do we? Wait.
Yeah. Look at our protected list.
Oh yeah, I guess I went a little overboard here. Oh yeah, we got Graton. Okay, I don't have to do that then. You're right.
Yeah. I think it's time to grab one of your defensemen.
They're all gone. What do we got? Pat Ribble, Flame and Capital, pretty tough guy. Frank Bay, the Flyers. And a couple the other ones I'm seeing are mostly WHA guys. Greg Jolly was actually a really high draft, the Caps first rounder in real life this year, but didn't really pan out. I think I'm going to go with Ribble, because I think we need left side defenseman. And one last pick left. Just going down through the names. Bill Lockhead, who was... Well, I got him as a center. He was a right wing. I got to fix that in the database. That's wrong. He's the only 2.5 star guy left, and had a couple of so-so years for Detroit. Who else is down? Anders Steen, future Jet. Not seeing anybody that's really jumping out at me. Buzz Schneider, one of the 1980 U.S. Olympic guys. Is Paddock in there?
Right winger. should be 1.5 stars potential. He already got drafted, but he is in this one.
Oh, next screen. Greg Neal, kind of an interesting guy. He was blind in one eye. There's actually a big lawsuit as to whether or not he could play in the NHL. Yeah, no, there we go. John Paddock. Okay, we'll go with him. Maybe he can coach us down the road if he doesn't work out as a player. And let's see if you can finish that off. Now, what's left for free agents now that the draft has cleared that all out? Oh, that's a new draft class. Okay, let's... turn the filter on. And... yeah, the unsignable Russians and the Czech. Bert Wilson was a kind of a tough guy for the Kings in the late 70s. He's there. That might be worth... actually, let me just look at where we are depth-wise. Only 17 players, and we got to call up some guys. Yeah, we're looking a little thinner this year. Losing those 4 guys in the expansion draft kind of hurt our depth. I think we need a 4th line center. I think we're all right for wings, maybe a depth defenseman. Changes in the search filters in FHM4, Guru Creative's asking about. Yes, we just added one for that'll look only for rookies. I'm gonna have to think about it, and I think that might be the only one right now. I'm not positive. Okay, back to this. Rookies, or free agents rather. Kind of looking guys who can help right now, so...
I was just going to say, we have some guys on the injured list too, don't forget.
I took them off. That's everybody that was on the injured list is off now.
Okay, I didn't... You got Gainey off? You still hurt for a few more months?
Yep, he's under... I'll move him back if he's still hurt at the start of the regular season, but no, he's still off.
Well, then we shouldn't be too badly for needing us.
Oh, Lars-Erik Schuberg, who we had at the start of the game, if I remember right. Yeah, we had him in 67. Looks like the Bruins have let him go after a couple of years, so we could sign him again, bring him back.
Didn't we trade him away? I feel like we traded him away.
I can check that.
He was angry about being in the minors.
Yeah, that was a big deal where we got Derek Sanderson back, who we eventually traded back to the Bruins anyhow, so...
See, I remember things every once in a while.
Pretty much undoing. I think I'm going to grab him, assuming he's got a... nope, can't sign him. Try for Bert Wilson. Oh, whatever. Are we in a weird time in the schedule? That's odd. Oh, wait, do I have to look for UFAs? Their rights are probably still on. That's why I didn't have the filter all the way on. Oh, that makes it much worse. There is not much out there at all.
No.
Okay, Andre Champagne, who I think was sort of a borderline... did he... like for one season in the AHL, had played for Toronto in the early 60s. Oh, wait, I'm looking. I've got this potential sorted back there. Jeff Jacques, don't remember him. He's 1.5 stars. I'm just going to grab guys because they're the only 1.5 stars available, as long as they want fairly cheap contracts, because we need a little bit of depth. But I think we're actually going to be... oh, yeah, let's check. Yeah, that's literally the only guy we're signing. You can see how much the WHA being in there is sort of strip mined the free agent pool. There's just nobody halfway decent. Worth grabbing. I'm just looking through for names I even recognize, and there's not many of them. Nope, just not anything to do there. What does that leave us at? Assuming Kelly signs, that gets us up to 20 players out of 23. Need to call up another defenseman. Gonna have to be Mike Amadeo, I guess.
Amadeo.
Don't start singing. And Tom Younghans, I remember he could play a little. Or actually, no, Darcy Road is in there. He's only 1 star though. Still. Tom Younghans could play a little bit of center, so assuming I've rated him properly. And yeah, that's not looking terribly promising. What's that email? Oh, O'Reilly's almost ready for his injury, so I'm going to play about a week, see if we get Kelly. And one nice thing in FHM4 that's coming, we've replaced that drop-down menu with some buttons. It's easier to hit read all and get through your messages faster that way. And you know what? I'm a liar. I thought I'd take those guys off the injured list, that they're still there.
Aha. And who came up with that idea, too? Somebody, really smart person, I think. Huh?
No idea. Okay, so that makes the depth slightly more tolerable.
Yeah, well, I said that kind of gives us... I mean, we still are only dressing 19 guys, right? So we don't really need a fourth-line center.
Yeah, development report, Plett and Stemps. Oh, I forgot to sign my rookies. That also was kind of a stupid thing to do because that will also give us some depth. Sneps is 2 stars already, so he may even play for us this year.
Or at least back up.
Wow, wants a 6-year deal, so that's good. We'll tie him up for a good long time. Ribble is worth signing right away. Oh, nuts. Pat Ribble already signed with... Yeah, I screwed up there. I should have been quicker. Don't tell me. Yeah, okay, Plett hasn't signed with the WHA at least. That would have been embarrassing, losing my first rounder to the other league. So Ribble got picked. Erickson is already over there, so we got to keep an eye on him. He's got 2 years left on his deal with Michigan. John Paddock signed with Indianapolis. Feels like I made one more pick there, I thought. Yeah, maybe not. And I'm going to sign Frank Beaton, even though he's only got half a star, because I probably need the depth. Go another week and we should have all those guys under contract. Yep, Plett, Snaps. Okay, let's take a look here. What do we got? We're over the limit by 1. Plett definitely isn't ready to play right away, so he's going down to the reserve list. Yeah, we're short on centers. Somebody's going to get... Maybe Harris gets converted. And how many defensemen do I have here? 4, 7, 8. One of them has to go down. And it's probably going to be Marat because he's washed up at this point and didn't even want to be taken in the expansion draft. So let us run ahead to the start of the preseason unless we get a trade offer here, which I don't think will happen. Oh, and Bob Gainey is ready in time for the start of the regular season. That's good news. And beaten signed, so he can go down. Good. I think I'm going to move LeBratton down as well, just to keep one empty roster spot open. Reserve list, nobody really breaking out. We'll see what happens in training camp. Some of these guys will improve then. Yeah, okay. And while we're simming forward, just a quick update on FHM4. We're pretty much at the point now where we just have to get the NHL to sign off on a few things promotion-wise, and we will start announcing features very soon. Other than all the little ones I'm sneaking in.
Very, very soon.
Yeah. Okay, Gainey is back. Do we have a development report? Great, Young Hands showed up out of shape. Well, he's a rookie. We're going to criticize him publicly. And he's not happy. Well,
we don't really need him that badly.
Yep, you're a rookie kid. You need to do better than that. So, yeah, Willie Platt, tons of improvements. Harold Snaps likewise. Oh, Young Hands, actually, despite showing up out of shape, improved in a bunch of categories. Lars Zetterstrom, one of our minor leaguers. And I think played like 3 games for the Canucks in real life. Picking up, and nobody. Oh, great. Steve Durbano, 22 years old, and he's headed downhill already.
Well, we could look at trading him. Probably get a decent return for a 3-star guy.
Although we might, I'll try and squeeze one more good season out of him, I think.
Well, you do that. I'll just take a look.
Yeah, see if there's anything.
He's a 3-star. What hand defenseman is he?
Right now, I think. Yeah, right defenseman. And yeah, Zetterstrom is up to 1.5 stars, so he'll be the first defenseman called up probably. But nobody else with really significant improvements. And Young Hands showed up out of shape. Lindgren. Spare. What does that make our lines look like? Were we at the we're at the start of the exhibition season? We changed our tactics last year, so I'm going to leave them as they were, even though we didn't have the greatest. Oops. Okay, the wants to sit Bob Barry out. That's not good. Swap him for Kelly since we've already got tough guys in the lineup. Kelly and Young Hands and Amodeo will be scratched at the beginning of the year. And no, I don't really want Gainey on the first line. Just switch him and Don Marcotte. Other than that, I think I'm fairly happy with those. Terry O'Reilly's pushed ahead of Reggie Leach in the right wing. Salming in the second, Bear Kearns and Durbano. Snaps. Oh, there we go. Someone managed to get 3 Vancouver Canucks in the in our defenseman.
I am shocked and disappointed.
So Kearns, Snaps, and Lindgren. You have no. Oh, got it. And Snaps and Lindgren wound up together. That's who is? I think it's. Oh no, Terry Neal has got a line about that. Listening to Snaps and Lindgren talk during practice and saying, "Hey, do you want to switch it up next game? Next time you fall down and I'll give away the puck." I got horrible memories of watching Gretzky against those two in the 80s.
I can imagine.
That's traumatic. Okay, let's get this up at the start of the regular season. We're just going to quickly tear through the exhibition season. So I'm trying to move through these. I wanted to go into a little more depth at some point, but we're running so low on time as we get closer to FHM4 being ready. that I want to try and get as many seasons in as possible because we got to win a cup at some point in one of these games. Development report, Pat Ribble coming along nicely, Erickson doing good in the WHA, and nobody too concerning for the guys who went downhill. Nobody gonna have to be waived. Okay. Oh, Guy Charon got hurt. Come on, not a bit. Oh, wow, Nielsen's hurt us. Okay, yeah, Nielsen and Charon are just day-to-day, but we're not going to be able to play them. Just going to go day-to-day and see if we get them back for opening night. Nope, got to scratch Charon. Have to put Kelly in, and we'll just go with some temporary lines for the opener. And I'm just going to quickly sim through this. And we win 3-2 against the Flyers. Anders Hedberg, 2 goals in the first period, and Kotola gets the winner in the third. Oh, I know, the other thing I should probably take a look at doing in our strategy, I want to look at the goalie starting settings. I'm going to bump them up a little bit just to give Milosh a few more starts because we really want him to start developing. So I'm just going to be changing the things that affect the backup frequency use. I mean, there's one that directly does, but there's also other things like going with the best rested guy and going with the best, the hottest goalie. And I'll start the best goalie down 1 notch. That should still leave Cheevers as a fairly high priority.
Excellent.
And is Sharaga good? Sharon is back to being semi-fit, so I can set this up and then we can leave that for a little while.
Okay, I got a trade here you might like. Tell me what you think. So we get Andy Manary from Atlanta. Manary, sorry. Yep. Looking at it and just said it completely wrong. For Steve's
brother Chris was actually a Jet.
A 5th round pick and the rights to Ray McKay and Larry Lund.
What are we giving up for that again?
Steve Durbano, 5th pick, then the rights to Ray McKay and Larry Lund.
I think I'm going to hold off on that now. Just
that gets us a 3.5 star defenseman.
Omaneri, right? Okay, wait, let me look.
25.
Atlanta. How's he been playing for them?
29 points in 42 games.
Yeah, it's coming off a pretty nice season. Got a couple of questions in chat too. I'm going to get those in a second. I just want to see.
Oh.
Oops. Click leaders. That's why it was taking so long to go.
Guru Creative says, I say you don't release FHM4 until a cup has been won. I guess we're never releasing FHM4, Jeff.
Oh, that's nice and optimistic.
I am realistic about it.
Okay, so, wait, let me walk me through this here. Durbano. What else did we give up besides Durbano?
A 5th round pick for this next year, and the rights to McKay and I don't know who else did I say. Rights to McKay and Lund.
Okay, a couple of WHA guys, and the Flames give Randy Maneri and what else? They're kind of deep defensively. Yeah, I can see why they want to.
They're looking for a right defenseman.
Yeah, that's.
Larry Lund and McKay. Yeah, I said I gotta.
What are the Flames giving us? So Randy Maneri and what else?
Just Maneri.
Just Maneri.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess so. It's.
Well,
Yeah.
We don't really need Ray McKay and Larry Lund. They're both in the WHA.
Yeah. Okay. So I offered the trade, and we'll see what happens there. Okay, advancing forward and looking at a couple of the questions in chat. Brian's asking if there's any in-game sim changes to FHM4. Yeah, one thing that's been added is line chemistry. Players will develop more chemistry as you put them together, so it makes sense to keep guys together a little longer now. And some guys will have existing chemistry from the start, like the Sedins will be really good with each other. There's a couple other. I can't get too far into some of the other changes. There's graphical changes, but you'll still see that as soon as we get screenshots out. And question: is it better in a tactical screen to pick a role with a lower rating, say a 3 instead of a 4 for a player? At times, yeah. It really depends if you're. I mean, if you want to do something specific during a game, like you're trying to catch up by a goal. I don't usually do that in these games because it takes a little while for me to go in and dig through that. I'll do it if I'm in a real game and trying to win. But I'll go through and I may put more guys on offensive offensive type profiles like sniper or playmaker, because the offensive oriented profiles will also raise some of their offensive ratings too, and hurt some of their defensive ones. So if they're good if you're trying to get a goal, or you can do the opposite if you're trying to completely shut down the opponent. You can sort of give up the tactical advantage, but guys will play better within their individual roles. And okay, any response yet from? No, let's go. We can see if we get a response back. Okay, yeah, there we go. It's accepted.
Uh-huh.
And okay, Maneri is a king now, and the only guy we moved out was Sturbano, isn't it? So that doesn't affect the rest of our team at all?
No, that's it. That's what I liked. Brian asked in the chat too, what about sim time controls like the original FHM2 where you could just watch highlights?
Yeah, we've added some of those back in. I can't remember exactly which ones right now, but with some of that is coming back.
Yep. There's definitely some changes to what you will see.
What's going on?
And we're very excited to start sharing them soon.
Well, that's a problem. Why is it trying to put Marcotte on defense? Because I don't have Maneri dressed, that's why.
That'll do it.
That's better. And I think I can leave the rest of that. And let's just run through a month and see how we're doing at the end of that. 3-2, 4-2, 4-3. We're staying a little bit above 500. 6. Now we're starting to win.
I think this Maneri trade's going to pay off.
Another development report. Randy Maneri went down 1 point in passing. Great call there. Guy's down.
He's 3.5 already. Stars. we can flip him again at the trade deadline if he's continuing to go down every time.
And Plitt got a few. Plitt's up to 1.5 stars. He was only 1 star before us, so he may be ready by the end of the regular season. Young Hands, the guy who showed up out of shape, is still sitting. Kelly can sit as well. And everybody is healthy for once. And yeah, we've wound up moving Billy Harris to center, so he'll gradually convert over there and maybe finally start scoring. And we're 6-5 at the beginning of November. Let's see where we are at the end of the month. We just dropped down to 500. Another question, if we, in the in-game tactics, if you've got a roll that's a 5 but not a counter, then another choice of a roll that's a 5 but is a counter, should you always pick the one that's a counter? Depends on the situation. If you don't need the extra, I mean, the counter lowers your opponent's tactical score, so if you're already ahead or if you're hopelessly behind on that, it maybe, and then the roll happens to fit what you want out of the player better, like say one is really offensive oriented and one's defensive oriented. You may want, and it's kind of an offensive forward type of position that you're picking a role for. It may make sense to take the one that isn't the counter. And whoa, what happened? The wheels fell off there. We're 9-14.
Guess it helps if I turn my mic back off mute. Ooh, that's
that would
rough.
do it. Well, you're talking away there and wondering why I wasn't saying anything.
No, it wasn't that much. I was just, I don't know.
We are 7 points behind the expansion capitals. That's not good. Although, well, look at the Kansas City Scouts first season, they've won one of their first 23 games. And they're actually looking at their lineup, they're not that bad. A lot of 2.5, 3-star guys. They shouldn't be losing by that much. But we got to look at how to turn this around. Everybody is healthy. Lindgren is coming out. Amadeo's going in. Young Hands doesn't like the lack of ice time, so he can go down. I know he's the assistant captain, but I'm going to bench Bob Berry for a little while and put Kelly in and add a little toughness, see if that turns things in a different direction. And Brian saying Chad been with OOT baseball for 17 years. Yeah, I think that's exactly the amount of time I've been with him too. I think my forum date is 2000, 2001, or at least with him as a customer, not working for the company. That's only about 5 years I've been doing that. Okay, wants to put Bob Gainey on the first line so bad we're going to try that. I think it's a little crazy, but let's see what we're doing by Christmas. It's getting us back towards 500. I'll go with it. Yeah, see, we won one there. Lost one. Tied one. Lost again. We're just sitting at 500. It's maybe getting slightly better. Oh no, we're creeping up now. We were for a second, now we started losing again. Boy, what is going wrong this year? Oh great, and Cheevers has started to lose ratings points. Standings. Oh, and we finally did hunt down that bug that's causing the player pop-up to occasionally stick in the background like he's doing now. So that'll be fixed in FHM4. We are at least out of last place in the Norris, and only 1 point behind Washington now, so we should run them down eventually. Kansas City finally won a few games. There we go. I gotta look at the stats to see what's going on there because it still isn't very impressive. Leach is having a good year. Salming's doing okay. Wow. Alf Nielsen is doing nothing. 12 points in 36 games, and we've been giving him a lot of ice time. He's been getting what is he doing? He's got 19 minutes a game, and he's only got 12 points.
That's interesting.
I gotta see what role he's in. Okay, Maloney, not great scoring, but he's our scoring is totally tailed off. Rookie Sneps is doing okay. What's Cheever's doing in goal? Well, not so good. Malosh has gotten absolutely killed in the little bit of time we've given him. And Maneri has 11 points in 36 games. So his scoring has fallen off from last year. Dennis Ochar injured for how long? 1 to 2 months, so he's going on the injured list. We will call up one extra defenseman. Yeah, nobody to 2 stars yet. Oh, I wanted to get Norman Barnes. I must have signed him the year before. Bring him up. Flyer and Whaler in real life. And the AI wants to bench Amadeo. I mean, the AI actually wants to sit Hedberg out.
Well, if he's playing that bad, he probably should.
Hedberg's not doing bad. Nielsen's the one that's doing terrible.
Oh, sorry, Nielsen.
Yeah, Barry, just a total train wreck. I'm going to put him out and Hedberg back in, but I'm going to look at what the AI is doing with our lines. Yeah, Nielsen's a playmaker. That's a role that he fits for. And Leach playing with Don Maloney and Battleship Kelly on the third line is somehow leading our team in scoring. It tells you how badly everybody else is slacking off. Maneri's on the first pair and he's not getting points. Yeah. What is going on here?
What's our defensive tactic? Or offensive tactic?
Offensive is a Shiro system. Defensive is a 1-2-2.
Is it possible we should be going to a more offensive tactic? The guys we got?
At this point in the season, I don't want to do it, but I think I'll look at that next off season if this year doesn't get any better. Just going to dig into the advanced stats for a second and what I want to see.
Advanced stats?
Yeah,
What's
PDO.
That in 1975.
Yeah, it doesn't exist in 1975. We got some time traveling statisticians going back, and PDO, just sort of a general indicator of luck. Oh, Don Marcotte has had a 967. He's down at the very bottom, so and he's still putting up 31 points, so he's carrying his weight. And then Kearns, Lindgren, Maneri, the defensemen are down there. Oh, Snaps is outperforming, so that's kind of a fluke that he's doing as well as he is. And the other thing I want to see, goals for per 60 minutes. We're actually getting 4.3 goals per game with when J. Bob Kelly's on the ice, but not, and only 2.5 when Salming is out. Oh wait, let me look at the rules for a defenseman. I'm gonna Salming do something that's a little more distribution oriented. Change his to mobile defenseman off the. I think maybe he's shooting a little too much and taking chances away from Hedberg, possibly.
All right. Brian in the chat says, I'm playing with a good fantasy team and notice the players' ratings are mostly between 14 and 19. I hardly ever see a low rating like a 5. What's an average level for an NHL player?
NHL standard is 13 for most ratings. There are some that work on a straight 1 to 20 scale, things like Best example is probably aggression is probably a pretty good one. That you'll generally see a lot more variation in across players. But for most of the skill-related ones, 13 is about NHL average. Okay, let's play a month of this and see if those few changes I made there do anything at all. As this is a pretty sad year. I was actually thinking we might have a shot at contending this time around, and we're just sort of flatlining here. And running low on time to boot. See, we get back within a couple of games of 500, and then I think we've lost like 3, 4, 5 in a row now.
Well, that's disappointing.
We gotta... have to see how happy the owner is with us. Oh, and Vic Vanaski, who we lost in the expansion draft, is the NHL's Player of the Month.
Of course he is.
I don't even want to look at how many points he's... Oh my god, he's got 55 points in 43 games with the Caps. What is... How? How?
Because they have nobody else, that's why.
Yeah, I mean, he's getting a ton of playing time, but still, he's Vic Vanaski. He's like a third-line guy. Oh, man. And Washington is somebody I was saying how bad they were in real life. They're actually creeping up on Montreal for first place in the Norris now. What else did they pick up? Okay, Tommy Durr, their first draft pick, is broken out. And they got Danny Grant, who I think had a 50-goal season somewhere. And he's their big star. Danny Grant is the guy who's actually driving us. Point totals. Tom Webster, future Ranger GM, but pretty good WHA at this time. Yeah, there's actually pretty good depth here. Nick Labette, Rod Sealing, Ed Van Imp. Who they got in goal? And Gilles Villemure in goal. Oh, and Paul Henderson's even playing a few games for him. He's kind of at the end of the string, but... what else can I do here? Injuries. Ochar is still gone for about 2 or 3 weeks. I'm just going to have to let this roll, I think, until he's back. And we'll be at the trading deadline very quickly. Any ideas?
On what to add?
On anything at this point.
Man,
okay, there we go. Ochar's back.
So the trade deadline is the 10th. I am kind of simming along with you, and
oh god, now we lost Salming to a concussion for 2 or 3 months. I think the season's a write-off.
Much more above. We're 31-25-7 for 69 points.
And Sharon has got a fairly serious injury. He's out with a back problem for a couple of weeks.
All right, let me just see. Okay, let's go ahead for the trade deadline.
Okay, I'm just going to do what the AI wants, YOLO, and go to the end of the month, and because we're 22 and 32 now. This is a train wreck.
All right, let's trade for Bobby Orr.
Oh yeah, okay, that's going to happen.
I'm just checking who's on the trade block. See if there's anybody. Sil Apps is on the trade block.
Okay, yeah, Kings got him in real life after he was kind of washed up with the Penguins. He put up a couple of decent years for him. Sharon's almost back.
Trade offer. Boston Bruins.
What have we got in ours? Nobody particularly... Well, Pat Quinn is on the trade block, but he's the best player there. He's only 2 stars.
Alright, let's see here.
Oops. Yeah, I don't really see anybody. There's some guys that could have helped us a couple of years ago, but they're washed up now. Adjuano, that guy who looked really good in the draft, is... Yes, he's down to 1.5 stars now. That was a total scouting mistake there. That 3.5 that he was rated at the draft.
Who is that, sorry?
Ray Adjuano, remember that 3.5 star guy you were asking about during the draft? He's down to 1.5 star potential now, so... Okay, at least we avoided that potential problem. How bad is this? Yeah, we're dead last in the division now. Washington's actually past Montreal somehow. Kansas City is terrible, and Washington is, what, 4th or 5th in the league. And Vancouver has fallen apart, you'll be happy to see.
Yeah, but that's what was supposed to happen.
Oh, he stole all of their defensemen, so that kind of makes sense. Okay, start looking at the reserve list. Oh wow, Willie Plutt's up to 2.5 stars. Should have noticed that sooner. And I've got 2 empty spots. He's getting a call up there. And Zetterstrom still has room to improve, so I will bring him up as well. And the AI wants to, doesn't want to use Zetterstrom, does want, I'm going to take Barnes out and put Zetterstrom in. Just go with,
You know, Toronto's got a stupid good roster.
Yeah, I haven't looked at them lately. Gary Younger, Von Bolderev, Milanovi, Al McAdam. Yeah, not too bad. Pretty good depth.
Paulus, Talon, McAdam, Rutherford in the goal.
Gary Smith in goal. How are they doing? No, still only playing 500 though. I'm just going to round to the trading deadline. Let's see if we get any offers this week.
You just put everybody on the trade block?
Yeah, it's tempting.
We're blowing it up.
We're going to have to, I think. Got no offers. Chat question: when looking at shot location and global strategy, what should I be looking at for when viewing the opposing goalie? Glove, stick, and low rating. Yeah, that's pretty much it. The glove and just go over here, look at Smith, so I can show you it. Low shots, if he's bad at low shots, you obviously want to be shooting low at him. If his blocker and glove ratings are high or are bad, you want to be shooting at those. And you'll also, by focusing on one particular shot, you get a little less predictable. So it's not like you're perfectly optimizing it by doing that, but you'll lose a little bit of the advantages of surprise. You're being a little bit predictable when you start to focus on one thing or another. Sharon is back, and Katola is out day to day. Now we're almost to the end of the broadcast here, but what do you think?
I think this might be
like
the spot
third
to
or fourth
leave it.
worst in the league right now, and
I think we should just stop here and just give it a thought here for half a and see what to
just digest it and see where this is going.
Maybe we start unloading everybody for as many picks as we can get.
And wait for the WHA to crash and burn and pick up, what's that kid they get in 78? Wayne something or other.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Gretzky in LA 10 years early, maybe.
Could happen.
Or this is like still 5 years off. We probably shouldn't be.
I'm not saying that, but there is some guys coming, and if it helps us to let go of someone like
Cheevers.
Well, Cheevers is 34. If we could pick up a first-round pick for him, even a guy like traded away our captain Darren Marcotte, if we can get a first-round pick for him.
Yeah, he's getting up 27. There too.
Hold on, like anyone who's over, kind of 26.
I mean, we've still got a fairly young team. I mean, just something has just gone horribly wrong this season that I'm still trying to sort out. Yeah, and
I'm saying get rid of maybe Marcotte, get rid of Bob Berry.
I hate to say if you're a little too early. It's taking forever.
Let's just kind of roll the dice and see where we go.
Yep, I think that's about it. And we're 5 after, so we should probably wind up the show right now. I'm just letting the save run. So if you want to wind up here and let everybody know where they can find the game, etc., etc.
Okay. Thank you for tuning into another Franchise Hockey Man. We typically stream Wednesday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern
unless Twitch is broken.
Unless Twitch is broken, like it was this previous week.
Yeah.
On twitch.tv/OOTP Developments. These streams are all archived on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/OOTP Developments, where you will find every stream we have ever done, plus some other videos. If you want to talk to us about Franchise Hockey Manager, you can talk to us on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Franchise Hockey Manager. Our Twitter is @Franchise Hockey, or you can come on down to our official website, which is ootpdevelopments.com. In the top right-hand corner, you'll see a button that says Community. Click on it. It'll take you to our official forums, where you can come talk about Franchise Hockey Manager, Out of the Park Baseball, and MLB Manager, or maybe even, an upcoming game that might get announced soon.
Yep, not that there's... that Brian just asked us about that in the chat. Will FHM4 be released this year? I think we can fairly conclusively say that, yes, it will be released this year. We'll have some news about that very soon.
Yes. One of those things you should do is make sure you are subscribed to our Twitch channel, subscribe to our YouTube page. It wouldn't hurt to follow us on Twitter and Facebook, and I would also recommend going to our official website and subscribing to our newsletter. You will find this information might be important in the next week or so. Anything else I missed, Jeff?
No, I think we pretty much covered it.
We've
been looking for researchers for FHM4 lately. I think we've got just about enough now, so if you've applied for that, I will probably be in touch very soon. I think I'm probably going to be doing it later tonight. And we will, anybody that's applied, I should be able to let you know whether or not we can start going ahead with that and bring you on board the research team. Other than that, I think that pretty much covers it. We'll be back with the... what year are we in Detroit now in the other game?
2019, I believe.
2019 Detroit Red Wings next week, and we will be back to this dumpster fire in 2 weeks and see what we can do with this team that's fallen apart for reasons that aren't immediately apparent. Well, thanks for coming out, and we will see you all in a week from now.